You know you should do it. Everyone tells you that you should do it. Your parents, your family, your friends, they all say it will change your life. And what if the thing that you've been told will change your life actually would? If you could get yourself to do it. Well, most of us know that meditation works. We've read the studies, we've downloaded the apps, we tried it a few times, and then quietly gave up. Not because it doesn't work, but because nobody ever taught us how to make it stick. Well, today, that changes. New Reality Awakening right now. Welcome to New Reality Awakening, where seekers become finders and stories become transformations. Each week we open the doorway to a new vibration, sharing wisdom, healing, and awakening from the visionaries of the New Reality TV platform. We are New Reality Awakening. Hey there, welcome back to New Reality Awakening. I'm your host, Will. This is the show where we go straight to the source. Each episode, we sit down with the creators behind New Reality TV to cut through the noise and get clear on three things: what they're putting out into the world, why it actually matters right now, and how it connects to the bigger shifts happening in human consciousness. Now, these are focused, no fluff conversations, not origin myths, not guru speak, just real people doing meaningful work and the ideas behind it. If you're curious about where consciousness, culture, and personal responsibility intersect, you, my friend, are in the right place. Today, I am thrilled to welcome one of my absolute people in the entire universe. She is the host and creator of the show Stress Therapy, Cheri Flake. Cheri, how are you doing today?
Great. How are you?
I'm doing fabulous, especially now that we're here. You are in your little tree house, which looks adorable. Yeah. It looks like you've got your hair freshly purpled or something. It looks like you're looking great. So, Cheri, I just want to dive right into it because you are one of those people that bring a lot to the conversations that we're having on New Reality TV. You are one of the OG New Reality people. Even before we were New Reality, you were part of us, the original ones that came on board. So, with your show. So tell me about stress therapy. What's the deal with that?
Okay. So, I'm a psychotherapist by trade. I'm a social worker, and I've worked in the mental health field for 30 years. And
wow. You start when you were 4?
you're so sweet. I meditate a lot, right? And I started off like just helping people. You hang your shingle and you're really hungry and you'll see anybody. And what I realized is that people really kind of know what they want and they just don't know how to get it into their lives with regularity. They want to have healthy habits. They want to stop doing this and start doing that, but it's just not, you can't get it into their lives. They don't understand creating healthy habits and how it actually is a journey of feeling good and not terrible. And so I kind of started dabbling in that and had my own sort of personal journey of how I came to that. But then I realized after a while that if I teach everybody how to make meditation habitual, everybody get better, Will. Everybody. Okay.
Everybody.
Yes. And so we all seem to have this like wanting this practice of silence. We all seem to want it and we just don't know how to do it. And like most people will say to me, oh, you teach meditation? I can't do it. I'm like, yeah, join the club. Nobody can do it. Okay. Right. No, nobody I have taught thousands of people how to meditate. And I've met 3 or 4 people that have said, that was easy. Okay. And usually it was just that one time. It was easy. It was just that one time. And so, if meditation was a pill, it would be $1 trillion industry, Will. Everybody would be taking it, right? But since it's not, it's really important that we teach people how to do it habitually because we can talk about it. We can say how amazing it is. There are so many posers out there, man. You know what I'm saying?
I do.
Like, who's actually doing it? Like, I'm in this business and I'm just telling you, it ain't very many. So a lot of my show is centered around, of course, meditating and making sure that you're doing it every day and figuring out how to do it because it is very difficult to make meditation a habit until you have these little tools that get you winning those private battles in your head. And I just get so excited when they start doing it.
Which brings me to, I got to call it out. Cheri, I've called it out on my show too. You are not the stereotypical meditation teacher.
No.
Opposite of what people think about when they think of a meditation teacher.
No. I mean, imagine how crazy I was before, Will. I was just
No, thank you.
I mean, at least now I can organize my thoughts. The coolest thing is that, we know all these beautiful benefits of meditation. Yeah. We know what they are. Lower your blood pressure and your mood's better, and your processing is better, and your attention is better, your focus is better, your life is better, your mood is better. You have less likely to have Alzheimer's. It goes on and on and on and on and on. It's been clinically proven. But you only get those benefits if you do it.
But how? How does it benefit you? Like how does going inside make all these differences, make all these changes in someone?
Well, I mean, I think we're getting a really nice dose of why we know it's true, right? Because we're watching our kids grow up with absolutely no idle time, right? And they're never bored, and they're never just sitting there. And I think we're starting to see the effects of that. So we've gone from not meditating and not even sitting there quietly. Okay. I tell all my clients, do not ever pick up your phone ever. Try this, Will. Try this. It's a life changer. The littlest thing. The next time you go to the doctor's office, you go to the dentist, you have to wait in line at Kroger or whatever. Do not look at your phone.
Oh, come on. That's impossible.
I know. And it's so nice to just sit there and be like, well, first you're going to go through your egotistical, I'm not looking at my phone and everyone else is, right? You're going to do that first. Right. Okay. And so you can use your ego a little bit in order to get these practices to help, but not like you can with other practices. But yeah, if you can figure out a way to be idle, just be bored, prescribe yourself some thinking time. If meditation is absolutely not on the docket for you, you just can't figure out how to get it into your life, start by just sitting there and thinking. Not solving problems, not resolving things, not writing things down, not doing it while you're doing something else, but just sitting there quietly, and just thinking. We used to do that while we waited for people at the mall when we didn't have a phone, right? We used to do that when we waited at someone's house with our bikes when we were little or whatever, right? Yeah. And so I think we're really starting to see the effects of not only not meditating, but not being idle at all. And so I think one of the coolest things about meditation is it is different than every other behavior, every other healthy behavior. You can use your ego to get yourself out there. You can be like, oh my gosh, I'm going to run and I'm going to be skinny and I'm going to fit in these jeans and I'm going to get a dog and I'm going to meet my hot neighbor or whatever. You can get your ego involved in how wonderful it'll be to be a runner, but you can't get your ego at all involved when you meditate because we're trying to get it to take a little quiet time. Right. And as break. We all know, when things, it's like a little toddler, it gets a little louder before it gets quieter. And so you have to learn how to win those little private battles in your head. And the next thing you know, you're doing it every day and you're doing it just like brushing your teeth. And you don't sit around and say things like, I can't brush my teeth because my teeth are you just brush them. Okay, you just brush them. You don't give these long excuses why you can't do it. If you miss a day, your teeth are fine. You're great, right? But you have to kind of look at it like my sister has asthma, right? So she takes this preventative medicine every day to prevent an asthma attack or to make an asthma attack less, right?
Right.
And so if we think about our mental health that way, you just sort of like putting a little deposit in every day. And maybe you have resources and ideas and coping skills and all these other beautiful, psychotherapy things to help you when you actually have your asthma attack or panic attack or whatever you call it. But this is a preventative thing and it's far too good for you to ignore it. It is an ethical obligation that I have as a social worker, as a mental health professional, that I teach as many people how to meditate because it's too good for you. It's too good for you. And then they say things like, Cheri, you're amazing. I'm so happy. And I'm like, I know, but it has nothing to do with me.
Or does it? I mean,
it's because you did it. It's because you did it. It's because you did it. And if we can stop talking about why we can't do things, no one cares. No one cares. Okay, you're explaining that at a party, but you're explaining it to you, honey.
Right, right. So there's a couple of things here, and I want to point out. First, you're making a lot of assumptions about people who brush their teeth, Second, I don't think we have to go all the way to our kids. We can look at it ourselves. I can tell you personally, myself, I cannot just sit there. I can't. I've got to be doing something. My phone is always in my hand, or my computer's always in my hand, or my TV set is on, or something's always going on.
Well, the first step is to say that you can.
Yes.
Because either way, you're right.
I can, right. I just don't so far. And
or haven't learned how and practiced it lately. Right? Like, keep it light. That's the other thing. We put so many big demands on ourselves. You don't have to do it for 20 minutes. You're just going to do it while you're waiting for the lady in front of you to get her groceries onto the thing.
Right. And I actually owe you a lot, because one of the things that was difficult for me, full disclosure, you helped me to pick up a daily habit of meditation, thanks to you being on the show. And not just that, but also you're constantly in my face on my text messages. Did you meditate? Did you meditate? Did you meditate? Right? Which I love. So thank you, because it really helped me very much. I really
nice
appreciate
to have
that.
an accountability partner.
Absolutely. It was great. But secondly, one of the things that I was having the most difficulty with was when you think meditation, you go to work, all this stuff, you come home, and then you meditate and immediately fall the flip asleep. Like, I cannot stay awake. You taught me to do it first thing in the morning, right? Mm-hmm. Wake up, pee, and meditate. And
right. Rise, pee, meditate.
Rise, pee, meditate. That's it. That's it. And that is what I do. And that is what has helped me to meditate, because I don't fall asleep in the mornings. When I first wake up, I don't fall asleep, even as tired. Like, I can be as tired as I have ever been. And yet first thing in the morning, I can sit down and meditate. Not so any other time. Any other time. In fact, my wife gives me a hard time because I'm sorry, I've got to meditate. Well, you can meditate, later. Let's take the kid and then we'll come back. We'll meditate. No, you don't understand.
It's not rise, pee, brush your chops, let out the dogs, make a cup of coffee, check your email, then meditate, right?
Right. No, it's not, because otherwise
it doesn't happen.
It will be rise, brush your teeth, rise, pee, brush your teeth, bring your kids to the school, come back from school, do some homework, do some
and then you're like, it never happened.
And then fall asleep.
And your ego's like, I won. I kept him off the cushion.
Right,
we don't have to do that. We don't want to do that. Because remember, your ego, your voice in your head, your roommate, whatever you call it, is, very focused on keeping you doing the same. And so if you were not raised in the East and meditation is not normal for you, anything that's not normal, your brain is going to resist. Even if you're sitting around and, drinking, eating birthday cake all day. Okay. If you eat birthday cake all day and watch TV all day, and that's what you've been doing, your brain's going to want you to continue to do that simply because that's normal.
And because
right?
yummy.
And so then we start to say, yeah. And then we start to say, well, that's not who I am. And I'm like, what? You could change. You change all the time.
Right.
You used to not even be, ambulatory. Like you're never going to be 8 pounds again either. You know what I mean? So
thank God. No one wants to see that.
But you can change. You can change the littlest bit, and it's being open to that. And allowing yourself to understand that it's usually difficult for most people at first. And I can teach you, on the show. I can teach you off the show. I can teach you. I can text you. I can whatever. I can teach you how to make it just a part of your everyday living, something you do without stress, procrastination, or excuses. So you are open to the magical benefits of it.
Yeah.
Because it's amazing the benefits that are there. We have all these clinical and medical benefits, but then there's always this like esoteric, ineffable thing, that this benefit that you get that you could have never predicted. And that's sort of what I live for with my clients and friends and other people in my life, or other students that I have, because they come to me and say, oh my gosh, I just completely stopped yelling at my kids. I was yelling at them all the time. I didn't even realize it.
Oh, wow.
I communed with a little ladybug the other day. I never even noticed a ladybug. I didn't even know we had ladybugs in Georgia or whatever. Right? And so all these things, I never even saw or noticed a sunset. I was too busy. I didn't have time, right, for that. And now I don't want to miss any.
Yeah.
And what if it works? Like, what if it works? What if you learned how to do it and you did it every day and your life got better?
It has. And I will say that anyone who makes the effort, it does pay off at the end. Here's the thing, though. When I first started, we talked when I went to a meditation retreat, and that was a lot of sitting and doing nothing when I was falling asleep. So when we talked, and this is where my next question is going to go, because a lot of people have the thought that when they sit down to meditate, they got to meditate for an hour, or a half hour, or for a long period of time. But that's not necessarily the case, right?
Something is better than nothing 100% of the time.
There you go.
Okay. And so if you go and sit on that, really at first when I'm teaching my students how to make things habitual, and you can come to one of my retreats where that's the whole focus. We learn a myriad ways how to meditate, and then we learn how to get it into our lives the whole weekend. It's so fun. We have so many cool, amazing things. And so that's always available. But, at first, really just showing up is the habit that you're learning first, right? And then we learn how to sit. First, we learn to just get your butt there, okay? And show up, even if it's for 30 seconds, okay? That can be habitual, just like it's putting your keys somewhere. You're just like, this is what I do. I get up, I pee, I go to this space. I get up, I pee, I go to this space, right? And so we start really small because it's a lifelong journey, right? And a lot of people are like, well, if it's not for an hour on the Stairmaster, then it doesn't mean anything. And that ain't true. If you're on the Stairmaster for a minute, you still get something. Right?
As little as it could be, you still get something.
You still get something. Yeah. So I think starting there and having a goal is where you want to be, but you don't want to start at the goal. Yeah, There's nothing magical happens on January 1st.
Right. So I think that's important to talk about the fact that, if you only have 2 minutes to meditate, then you only have 2 minutes, and that's perfectly fine. But the goal is to eventually be able to extend that time so that you get the benefits. But if you're just starting out with 30 seconds, a minute, 2 minutes, 5 minutes is definitely the way to go.
As long as you are actually meditating. So there's a lot of misnomers of what that actually is. And a lot of people are listening to someone talk to them. That's not, or music. Like that's listening to music. Okay. And or they'll say things like running is my meditation or sewing is my meditation. I'm like, that's like saying singing is my talking. Those are two separate things. I'm not saying those things aren't good for you, but it's just, you want to have a nice little formal sit where you're learning how to concentrate.
Okay, so
you're learning how to focus.
Wait a second. So you talk about these guided meditations are not good for you, or that when you sit down and listen to spa music while you're meditating to help you to focus, that those aren't good?
Those are good for you, but see, like on my show on Stress Therapy, I guide you in, and I give you a task to do, so your brain has a little something to do, so you can calm down. Here's a toy you can play with, okay? Well, I get quiet and peaceful, and then I leave you alone to hone that skill for 6 or 8 minutes, or depending on how much is left in the show to do it. And then I bring you out. Okay. So I'm not saying that guided meditation is bad. I'm saying, oh my gosh, do it all the time. But that's not what your meditation practice is. It's nice. You really need to have, in order to get those benefits, you need to have a nice formal sit daily. And just look at it like, any other behavior that you do daily, like brushing your chops. You're looking at long-term dental health, right?
So 2 different things then. The initial just sitting down is for you to get yourself centered, get all the benefits of the meditation. The guided stuff is for other times or for other reasons, if you want to go explore or gain superpowers.
So is hatha yoga or vinyasa. It's lovely too. But and you might be in a meditative state, or you might be very mindful. I think what we're talking about is mindful behaviors, which are very confusing. I think we need to be more mindless if you actually think about it. But whatever, you can't throw a stick without hitting that word right now. But I think that's what that is when you're doing one activity, just that activity, and all of your awareness is put into that activity. And so I do practice that with my clients too. When you walk to your car, just walk to your car.
Right.
Don't think about where you're going, what you're doing, what just happened, what's happening later. All of this work to be in the present moment we're in, because the present moment you're in is pretty damn good most of the time. Okay. And we're ignoring that because we're luring things into this moment. And if we're going to do that, we need to be really choosy, right? And so just having that awareness of what you're thinking about as you go through your day, those are mindful behaviors. Sewing, running, when you're in your mojo, when you're gardening, whatever, all these other people who do those things. I don't do any of those things. Okay. Those aren't my mindful things. However, I can be very mindful when I'm singing or when I'm writing a song or something like that, right? And so it's a whole other thing. But that's mindfulness, right? Meditation is, all of your attention on nothing but the awareness of being, which sounds like a tall order until you learn really cool tips and tricks on how to get you to sit there and practice. Really, you just practice the C word, concentration.
Right. And that's really what your show is all about, right? You talk a little bit about the benefits, or you don't just talk about meditation, to be honest.
No,
to be
I'm a
fair.
mental health professional.
Right.
Today my show I just recorded was about procrastination and really how to think about that different and what it really means and how. I'm into the hows, man. I don't want to hear all the stuff I already have, like this. I'm like, yeah, I already know all that. How do I change it? So I am a hows therapist. I'm like, how do I stop procrastinating? And so that's what that show is about. And then we meditate together and then it's over, right? So I'm a mental health professional. I want you to have this, social skills, how to have hard conversations, how to lift your mood when it seems difficult. Definitely sometimes we just talk about meditation because that's my favorite thing. But, it's all about mental health and mental well-being and just making sure that you're like living the best that you can with like not so much pressure to live the best you can. You're just doing it. It's just happening.
Right.
Because you just happen to be paying attention to it. Right.
So someone who watches your show gets a double benefit. They get the benefit of the meditation with you, and you use Sonic Yogi's music, which is cool, like the singing bowls and that kind of stuff that helps you to drop in. But then also before that, you get the benefits of free advice from a mental health professional.
Yes. Well, I am a psychotherapist, but I am not your psychotherapist. That's my disclaimer. So I have cool advice and things like that I mean, I even have shows, let's be frank, of things that I wish I could say to my clients.
Oh, yeah, those are my favorites.
Where I'm like, listen, okay, stop. That does not work. Okay, like this is not working. And this is really where you need to be going here. And just like, I don't know, like, the older you get and the more experience you have on this earth, sometimes just, hearing something, that's what I like about new reality TV. Like someone says the thing you heard 1,000 times and you're like, no, that's it. That's the message. Right. And so I feel like what I really like about the show is I'm not sitting with someone in my chair. I'm not bound by the laws of my license because I'm not using it. Right. I'm just, talking about my experience in mental health and what works and what has worked over the years and what books that I talk a lot about books on my show because I think they can be really, really helpful. And I don't know, I'm tired of reading books. The first 200 pages are why you should buy the book.
Very, very true. Yes.
I want to know, how can I change this thing? If I'm supposed to eat more blueberries, how am I supposed to do that if birthday cake tastes so good?
Yeah, I think that's why we're kindred spirits, because my show is exactly the same way. Just dive into the how, and then we'll do the back end later on. But
sick of talking about it. La, 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 la. It's mostly excuses or people telling you they got it all together, which makes me very skeptical.
Well, you are amazing, Cheri. Thank you so much for coming on the show. I know that you mentioned the retreats. You have 2 a year, right? One in the mountains, one on the beach, which is really cool. If someone wanted to reach out to find out, to learn from you or to go on your retreats, what's the best way for someone to do that?
Well, I'm the Stress Therapist. That's what my business is, the Stress Therapist LLC. But you can just go to ilovetherapy.com.
All right.
I got in early on the URL.
Nice.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
ilovetherapy.com. And you can just click on retreats and see which ones you want. The one in the mountains is really intense. It's immersive. The food is amazing. The outdoor showers and beds and opportunities and experiences and all of the meditation experiences we do. We do group hypnotherapy. Sonic Yogi comes to that retreat. And I have an amazing cellist coming as well. I have a bunch of cool musicians that are going to be there doing different ways for us to drop in. And yin yoga with the beautiful Christina Law. She will be there. And at the beach, it's a little more laid back. You're kind of like on vacation and then occasionally meditating with me, learning how to get it into your life in a beautiful, amazing setting in Jekyll Island off the coast of Georgia. So my retreats are in Georgia and the mountains are at the beach. And I would love to have you. I only attract amazing people in my retreat. And there's been 2 times I thought you were going to come, Will. You got to come this time.
I was so close. I was there. But I've been talking a lot about, I do want to go. So hopefully maybe next time I'll be able to go. But
all right, I got you.
Yeah. All right, Cheri, thanks so much for being on the show. It's really always a pleasure to talk to you.
Thanks for having me. I love you to pieces.
Likewise. Bye. And that is the kind of work we like to spotlight here. Not because it has all the answers, but because it asks better questions and invites real engagement. Now, this conversation sparked something for you. You can explore more of Cheri's work on New Reality TV. And if you're someone who's curious about consciousness, growth, and where personal responsibility actually meets spiritual exploration, well, this is what we do here. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time on New Reality Awakening.